Welcome back, beautiful people. Well, this is the last episode of the Feminine Leadership Summit. It's kind of a bonus episode. I'm in Portugal, and we have the beautiful, wise woman, Jen Brody, here. And Jen is in Costa Rica at her beautiful retreat center, Synergita, which I've spent some time at. For your Simple Pleasures retreat, and you're just such a clear channel for the divine feminine and divine masculine, for the unity, the message from our higher selves to come through of why we're truly here and what we're truly being called into. So thank you for creating this space to be here to give this transmission.
Well, thank you. It's such an honor to be here, and I'm absolutely just so excited, and excited to share with you. And thank you for the informal introduction. I actually requested it. I was like, Lily, can you just do an informal? I hate red bios. So as far as feminine leadership, I'm like, oh, let's just get real, So I think that actually bio was a perfect description of what we're up to in the world. Ben, I have co-founded community here called Synergita. It's a 211 acre property. We have a beautiful retreat center and resort, and also community for leaders. And we're a social impact company as well. So there is a philanthropic piece to every component of what we do, whether it's a retreat or each home that is built here is actually buy a home, give a home. So we give a home to a local family. And we love that. And then, in our personal work, Ben and I support high-level leaders. We support high-level couples who are on the brink of divorce and help them heal their marriage. So, and we really just try to be a lifeline for power couples who are on the brink of divorce and who really need not 3D help. I think that's really, really specific. So really high-level leaders who are on the brink of divorce or who are having challenges in their marriage. What we find is that they can't go to like a traditional therapist or traditional marriage because nobody's going to get what you're going through. Right. So, and we have a 98% success rate helping couples heal their marriage and turn it around in about 90 days and just have the best sex of their lives, our lives and their lives. So that's what we geek out about. Yep.
Yay.
And we host lots of retreats here and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that the work that you do obviously comes through your own personal experience. I would love for you to share a little bit more about whatever you're willing to share about that journey for you.
Absolutely. Well, I really believe that we're here to teach what we need to learn and learn what we need to teach. And I think the best way for us to learn is to teach. And so I'm a firm believer in not in that we have to be perfect or have it all together. I'm a really strong believer in that whatever our biggest challenges are in life is actually what we're here to most teach and to most help others with. And so with that, my husband and I have been married over 7 years at this point. We met and married in a month, which was pretty wild. We knew right away, from the moment we looked at each other's eyes, we knew. And at that time I was a preschool teacher, a special education teacher, and Ben was a mailman by trade. Also developing a lot of different things, and as was I. But we just kind of dove in and we quit our jobs. We started our business. Our first business was called Explosive Sexual Healing. And so we were doing sexual healing work with couples and also with women to help them bring in their life partner. And it is not Tantra. We are monogamous. These are questions that I just have to because as soon as you say that, people are like, what is that, Tantra? No, it's not. But we just kind of dove in and really felt called to really help people to heal from sexual trauma, all different types of trauma, being in a body trauma, and shame-based things. And so that's really at the core of our work, because at the end of the day, what we found is that we all actually crave intimacy. We all actually want intimacy. We all actually want deep connection as humans. But it's also simultaneously the biggest thing that we fear most, right? It's so weird. And even those of us that are, we're on stage and we're vulnerable and we're this and we're that. And, we still have shit behind the scenes. Right. And that's really what we found. We started out for whatever reason very early on in our business working with really, really high level industry leaders and celebrities behind the scenes. And we started finding that they all kind of had similar, similar things going on, which is that they were having major breakdowns behind the scenes, and the interesting thing enough is that, Ben and I had a lot of struggles and challenges early on in our marriage, right? So we went through it, and we've been through different cycles of it at different times. We've got 3 kids, we've got 3 businesses at this point. And we've been through it. And I think the reason that happens, and that it's really important for people to understand, is that if you don't have a traditional marriage, so if you actually have a growth partnership, right, and you are committed to your spiritual growth path, and your partner is committed to their spiritual growth path, by nature, you're going to have challenges. Like, I actually see relationship for this particular soul group right now, I actually see relationship as being one of our greatest paths to enlightenment. The old way was like the guru on the mountaintop, that didn't marry, didn't have kids. And that's one way to do it, right? But take that guru off the mountaintop, give him a wife, give him some kids, and see if he's still enlightened, right? Really? I mean, see if he's still enlightened, see if he's still enlightened. So throw that into the mix. And I actually think it's really important because, as we're talking about feminine leadership, and we're talking about balancing between masculine and feminine energies, piece of partnership and balance is really, really important, because as above, so below, as within, so without. I believe that our particular soul group is here to change every single system on the planet that is not working, from the education system to governmental system, economic systems, monetary systems. And we know the gamut of systems that are broken, right? And so I truly believe that we are here, healthcare system, oh my God, broken. So I truly believe that that's what we're here to do. We're here to change the systems on this planet, and each of us have a piece of that. But within that, I think one of the ways that we're going to do it is actually through these sacred sovereign partnerships. It's actually through these growth partnerships, because that's what's going to create the inner shift that then creates the outer shift, right? And I really believe it's up to us. To me, it's not, the government's not going to do it. This person's not going to do, we're going to do it. We're going to do it, through our businesses and through our give back. So.
So powerful. Yeah. And one of the kind of mantras that came through as a through line for this summit in particular was, be the change you wish to see in the world, and that's just what I hear you saying. And also that this new paradigm of marriage, of relationship, is the new spiritual path. Because unless we're going to go live in a cave and be a monk, we can't escape from relationship. And so this is where the work really truly is for us. That family dynamic is a micro of the macro of countries at war.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. Oh my God, I've got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. Oof. Yeah, it is. It's a macro for exactly. We've got to heal it. We've got to heal it in our personal lives so that we can heal it globally. That's exactly it. And I think that, the other thing that I've seen is that, for our soul group, because I believe that this is a huge part of our, what we're here to do and what we're here to create. It's also one of the things that, quite honestly, is under massive psychic attack. It's kind of Achilles heel. It's kind of the thing that'll take people out and take people down if they don't understand what's happening. They don't understand the why. They'll go, well, this just, we'll have couples come to us and go, this is just too hard. I don't want to do it anymore. And what we'll remind them of is, do you remember what your soul came here to do? What was your soul's mission? What was your agreement with your partner? And, and when you ask them that, something will actually start to click in. And then, we'll say to them, do you believe that you signed up for this to be easy? Do you believe you came in because you ease, right? And they'll go, no. And so, okay, we could have stayed on the other side. It was easier on the other side, right? So I don't believe we're here. I believe we can have a life of ease and grace. Absolutely. We can have a lot of ease. We can have a lot of grace. We can have a lot of beauty. We can have a lot of joy. but I don't believe that's why we're here. I
Right.
believe we're here to create massive change on the planet.
Mm.
If we truly believe that that's what we're here to do, then it is going to require some action, some work, some effort. It doesn't have to be hard. It is going to require some persistence. It is going to require some dedication. It is going to require some focus.
Mm.
And one of the things that we've seen over and over again is that you might have, I call it like the enlightenment, quiz. Like if we had to take a test out on enlightenment or ascension or awakening or whatever, most of us could pass it, A plus with flying colors, right? But there is a big difference in knowing the answers and living the answers, right?
Mm.
And oftentimes we'll be living the answers in so many areas of our life, but often that relationship is the piece that'll fall out,
Mm.
right? And so again, to me, that's the piece that it just needs a huge focus right now at this time. Super important.
Yeah, I mean, it's the true intimacy piece that we're terrified of, and that we've been so like separated from.
Yeah.
I just like made a pretty simple post, but I just said like, this devotion and love that I feel for you, for my partner, is terrifying.
Yeah.
Here I am.
And that's how you know you're in the right place, right?
Right?
You're like, that's towards your fear. Compass towards the fear.
Yeah. So you mentioned like psychic attacks, and not like if you're not aware of what's really going on, which, and we're here to truly shift things.
Yes.
And that, yes, it can be easy, but also we are in this kind of this time of transformation. So there are some dense things to move.
There are dense things to move. Yeah.
And I'm curious, it's not, the lightest, funnest topic, but I'm curious if you would speak a little bit deeper into maybe understanding a little bit more of what's going on, because I think it is important for us to talk about and to know.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to. And, to me, it's all about the balance, right? It's, on the one hand, it's understanding that, from a higher dimensional perspective and higher dimensional truth, everything is perfect and it is all love and light. That is highest truth. So I am in full agreement with that. And I'm also in full agreement that, we still have to look at things from different dimensional levels and address things where they are. And so it is really acknowledging, you don't look at the shadow, it can't transmute into the light. That's the way I see it, right? We look at the shadow, we look at the darkness. We're supposed to look at it really in the eyes, I believe, so that we can shift it and we can change it. And yeah, absolutely. There are things that have occurred and been occurring on this planet for many, many years that are completely imbalanced. They're completely imbalanced. And this is why so many systems on the planet are crumbling, is because, we've had a lot of people in power, not everyone, but there have been a lot of people in power with a lot of money who are, I call them service to self path, right? And what I mean by that is that they're selfish. They want to do what they think is best for them, but what is not best for the collective. And of course, that's actually in and of itself an error in their thinking, right? The truth is we're all one. So anytime that we cause harm to another, we actually cause harm to ourselves. But even their path serves a purpose, and that's a longer topic, right? But that being said, I think it is understanding that a lot of the people that have been in power, that have been in control of the systems and the money on the planet, do not have the planet's best interest in mind. And I think that more and more people are starting to wake up to and pay more attention, to things like, what's going on with vaccines, what's going on with GMOs, what's going on with chemtrails, what's going on with this, what's going on with that, what's going on with healthcare, right? Yeah. Healthcare is not healthcare. Healthcare should be preemptive, right? So I think there are a lot, and it boils down to money. It boils down to these systems that want to make money and don't care about what it's costing, And so again, I think that's why it's really important for those of us who are aware and who are waking up and who are seeing the imbalances, right? And we could I call it ego masculine, right? I think feminine energy, we all have masculine and feminine energy. masculine energy in and of itself, divine masculine, is wonderful. We need it. It's the action, it's the flow, it's the go, right? We need that. What we don't need is ego masculine energy. And ego masculine energy has been imbalanced and has been destroying this planet. And so again, for those of us that are waking up, and it is a feminine energy that is really starting to push and move forward in its own way, you know, we do have to say, okay, you know, I'm going to be the one to make this difference. I'm going to be the one to start to create the change, right? And you know, it can look different for each and every one of us, right? But you know, for Ben and I, what that looks like is, you know, creating this community, creating a holistic school here, which also has give back for locals. For each Synergita community member's child that goes, a local child is sponsored, right? Same thing with the building of the homes, right? We're going to build homes for our community, but each community home is going to go to a family in need. So these are just little things. We walls in Africa, things like that. So what are the ways, I think for each of us, even if we can start small, even on a small scale, what are the ways, I think great questions for everybody to be asking is, what are the ways that you, if you are an entrepreneur, and even if you're not, but what are the ways that you can start to build in give back? What are some of the things that are near and dear to your heart? What are some of the things that are pissing you off, quite honestly, on the planet that you are like, I can't do this anymore? Those are the areas you want to be giving back to, right? Yeah. And so what I see happening is that this money is going to change hands. And I've seen it for a very long time. The money, we don't have to worry even about how the money is going to change hands. But it is going to change hands, and it is starting to happen. And what the wealth is starting to go, already, it's starting to transition to people who want to do good things with that. And so, you know, I've had a lot of people come to me even and say, well, you know, Facebook and things like that, they don't really know me. They'll say, well, money, you know, money's really bad. Money's brutal, evil. Money's this, and you shouldn't, you know. And the thing is, like, I actually feel like our soul group needs to make not even millions, but actually billions. We need to, not for the sake of having billions in dollars sitting in a bank account, because none of us care about that, but literally for the purpose of, you know what, I'm going to be the one to say where that money goes. I'm going to say that it's going to go to good healthcare. I'm going to say that it's going to go to right education. I'm going to say that it's going to go to the places that it needs to go, right? I'm not going to say that it's going to go to bomb children in Syria. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's like, why do you need the money? That's why. Why. That's the reason why.
It's a whole like reprogramming of, instead of just rejecting the tool that has been used to create harm, we like reclaim it and we use it for good.
Exactly. Because it's just energy. It's just energy, right? It's not inherently good or bad in and of itself. It's an energy that we need to actually own. I really believe that.
Yeah. So for anybody who is, we all have these money blocks because of how it has been used, and so we see it as, you know, it's even like it's the root of all evil, all of that. And I think there's
or we don't feel worthy of it.
Right. But that, like, giving ourselves permission to be worthy of it because we know that we are going to be able to use it for good. And I think even deeper than that is retrusting ourselves, like making peace where we may in this lifetime or other lifetimes or just others, you know, have misused power. And so it's really about learning to trust ourselves that we actually will do good with it. We will create good.
That's great. I love that. That's really good. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So the Feminine Leadership Summit, I'd love to hear, when you tune into those words, feminine leadership, what comes through for you? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, balance, reception, magnetism, clarity. And feminine strength, like the feminine strength of a mother bear. You know, it's like, to me, you know, there's so many different forms and aspects of the feminine, right? But to me, like a mother bear energy is actually really needed on the planet right now. There's a lot of different feminine energies needed. Kali is needed to clear. I'm seeing a lot more Kali energy coming through different people. you know, just rah, I'm not holding back anymore. I think that energy is really needed. I think mother bear energy is needed. Of course, divine mother energy is also needed. Um, but to me, it's just about balance. You know, feminine leadership to me is about balance. It's also non-hierarchical. And that I think is a really big piece. It's that we're all equals. We're all equals here. We may be playing different roles in this moment in time and space, but that we're all equals. None of us are better than anyone else. None of us have it all together. Right? It's a big one, you know, and I think that's some of the stuff that we're unraveling right now. Because I think a lot of us, you know, we feel like we have to have it all together. We have to have all the answers. We've kind of been programmed with that. We're supposed to know everything. We're supposed to have all the answers. We're supposed to have, no. I think it's really about how much do you care, and what is your best intention, and also being gentle with yourself, that you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be perfect. I think the more that as women that we can give ourselves permission to be all of ourselves, that's integration. That's ascension to me is actually descension. It's integration. It's integrating all aspects of ourselves. I think that that's a big part that the feminine is really starting to bring in, you know, and we've got people like Brene Brown kind of leading the way on that, right? With real vulnerability, you know, not trying to be up on a pedestal. We've got to get out of that. That's a big one, because anytime we put ourselves, this is what I've noticed, anytime that we put ourselves up on a pedestal, we're going to fall off. And anytime that we put someone else up on a pedestal, we're going to try to knock them off, because it's human nature. Everybody needs to get off the pedestal right now. And we all need to kind of join hands and say, we're in this together. We're doing it together. We're working on it together. Okay, you got this piece, you got that piece, you got that piece, I got this piece. Knowing our roles, I think, is important. Honoring each other's roles is important, you know, but I think that's really, really important. We can't knock each other down as women anymore. I've seen, you know, unfortunately, that's, again, part of the shadow thing that's like, can be really, really tough, right? But I'm also seeing a lot of women coming together in massive support of one another, and you know, not requiring one another to be that perfect. And I think that is extremely transformational for the energy of the planet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like again, like taking down the guru, the old paradigm of the guru, and just like removing the masks and allowing ourselves to be fully human and fully divine.
Yes.
And celebrate each other's differences and different roles and gifts and strengths and vulnerabilities, and truly working together, because that's what we're here doing. It's not about like me having the biggest following a business or whatever, you know. It's actually, we're all going for the same thing here, saving the planet.
And we literally cannot do our mission. You know, it is a group, it's a team effort. I see us as a Peace Corps for this planet, right? So we can't, you know, we can't do it alone, right? We literally can't do it alone. It's such a big deal. And to me, our imperfection is actually what makes us perfect. You know, it's every strength to me can simultaneously be a weakness, and every weakness can simultaneously be a strength. And that's true of everyone, you know? So I believe we each have our roles. Like, I just think we're each a unique thought in the mind of God, right? That God thought up, and we're like in God's dream, and we're just hanging out in God's dream, which you don't have to be perfect, you know, just character in God's dream, right?
And I feel you're really speaking to this, but I like to ask this question: why now? Why is it so important for us to step into our own gifts, our own voice, and that feminine leadership, making that contribution in the world now?
Oop, I lost you just for a second.
I'm here.
Are you there?
Do you see me? We're back. The question was, why now? Why do you believe that it's so important for us to step into our feminine leadership and our, you know, divine contribution now?
Yeah, change only happens in the now, right? So change never happens in the future. It only happens in the now. And I do see a lot of women stepping up. I also see a lot of women holding back, right? I get a lot of messages from women saying, well, I need to do more work, or, I'm not ready yet, and I just believe start wherever you are, dive in, again, when Ben and I started our business 7 years ago, I wasn't qualified. I wasn't ready. I didn't start because I was qualified or ready, right? I think that's a really big piece. So, if there are any women on this listening, and they're considering kind of really stepping into the next level of leadership, don't ever wait until you are qualified or ready, because you will never be qualified or ready. I believe that learning is a lifelong process, and it's something we are never done with, right? So of course, keep learning and keep growing, but don't ever use that as an excuse to hold yourself back, right? And again, just going back to what I started with, I really believe that we're here to teach what we need to learn and learn what we need to teach. And what I've found is that the best way to truly learn something is just to dive in and do it. And you'll be surprised at what will come through you when you're coming from a place of just get me out of the way, please surrender, and allowing source energy, allowing your own higher self to move through you. Because what I found is that we actually do have all the answers. Every single one of us has a unique gift that we're here to give the planet. And we do have our own answers inside of us. So the more that we can get ourselves out of the way, I don't really believe that we're actually here to learn, although I think that learning is fun and we should keep doing it. But I don't actually believe we're here to learn. I think we're here to remember what we already know. And so I think if we can keep that in mind as women, and also that we don't have to be perfect, right? That it's okay. You don't have to do it perfectly. And, the truth is we're never going to, but if you can just commit to doing the best that you can do with where you're at right now, and your heart is in the right place, and your intention is to help, then more often than not, that is what's going to show up for you, right? So yeah, why now? Because change only happens in the now. Nothing happens without commitment. Nothing happens without just diving in. We'll wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. So many people spend their lives waiting and waiting and waiting. It's not the way that growth works. It's not the way that learning works, right?
That's so powerful. Yeah, I think that was just the perfect kind of closing message for everybody to hear, that we can't wait until we're ready or qualified, because we never will be.
Never will be. So we're perfect, because we never will be.
And we already are imperfectly perfect.
And we already are. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Like collapse that polarity. Exactly.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, thank you so much, sister.
Love you so much. Thank you so much. Such an honor. Mwah.
I appreciate you. And
appreciate you too.
I know that you're also giving access to it's like $1 million marriage group.
Yeah, we have $1 million marriage group. We're so excited. This is really new for us. Again, we've been working with couples for over 7 years, but this group is a new group for us. And so it is for high level, highly successful, high level power couples. That is who this group is for. If that's you, I know that actually Courtney's still creating it, so she's going to send you a link. But also, if you're watching this, just a great way to reach out is actually just find my personal Facebook page, Jen Rode, RODE, JENRODE. Feel free to follow me. I think I'm probably maxed out, but you can message me and just send me a message through Messenger and say, hey, I'm interested in joining this particular group. And we're going to give you ongoing support. So if you're in that co-creative partnership where you're in a growth partnership, that's really who it's for high level leaders. And it's going to be a really, really fun, dynamic group. We're going to be really, really real. We're going to be honest. And we're going to move through a lot of really fun stuff.
So powerful. Thank you. Yeah. And to anybody, even if you're not in a partnership, follow Jen Rode, as she said, on Facebook, because you just have some really divine, timely channelings that come through that you can follow, and you'll see it and it'll be like, oh, thank you. I needed that today. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone know this. Love you.
Yeah. Love you too. Can't wait to come back.
I'll miss
Ah,
you. Yes, please come back soon.
and
Bring your man. Bring your
I
man to a
will.
couples retreat.
I will. I will. Yes.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yay. And thank you so much, everybody. We look forward to hearing what came through for you in this transmission. And you will be seeing me in your inbox tomorrow as we have the replays and some other juicy goodies for you. So much love. Thank you for being on this journey and participating. And thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you so much, Lily.